Hey, what's going on? Jim here, Grassroots Piano. Today it is the Alfred's Basic Adult Piano course. This is lesson 1 and, this is lesson book level 1. And we're starting at page 22. I know there's a few different additions to this, but this is one of the newer ones. Pretty easy to find. You can see I have the book on the screen on the other camera. Hopefully that helps. You can always probably pin zoom if you need to. But you know, if you're serious about learning, it's okay to invest in a book, right? You want to move forward. So we have basically the C position here, but they're making it a awareness for the learner, it meaning the series, that we do a thumb extension going down to B. All right, and they're really kind. They have the notes, they have the pitches in the note head. Don't get used to it. So we have C, E, G, half note gets 2 beats, and then B, F, G. And then you're going to repeat that in your practice, but I want to point something out. Some learners, depending where you are, if you're brand new and you might have some hand issues, you might want to just be able to play here, get comfortable, and then bring your thumb down and then play here. So you don't have to count and play everything smoothly at first. That's important. Some learners will have a hard time bringing that one finger down to the B, and then 4 on that F, and then 5. Some learners will do this, and that they're gonna get flat hands. So you're gonna wanna make sure your hands are curved. I go over this in detail in my course, a little self-plug, as far as different camera angles go, dozens of PDFs and all that, and you get email access to me, and also sometimes some Zoom stuff. Just a little self-plug there. If we look next part, they show the C and the G7 chord. So the C chord is the 1, 3, 5 notes of the scale, and the G7, we're simplifying it for now. We're just playing part of the chord. And the reason we're playing the B on the bottom, and then the F, and then the G, is because it's easier for new learners to get that motion. So I'm gonna save some of the theory stuff for now because we need to get playing. But right now, the G7 is known as a dominant chord. It's pulling, and that B acts as a leading tone going back to C. There's more to it, but that's a whole other video. So we got our C chord, okay, and they show it on the keyboard. And notice when I'm playing, I'm believing on my hand position, so I'm not doing this. And then when we go down, I was working with a newer student today, and she was doing this a little bit. You haven't trained your muscles yet, and we're only pressing. We're not thinking arm weight. It's worth repeating because arm weight means less tension. All right, so then I'm gonna practice the very bottom part, and I'm always gonna say notes from bottom to top. So the last 3 measures, we have C, E, G. Oh, that's another thing. You can play them broken if that helps you with your coordination. And you got B, F, G. All right, now I'll play it. You can play with me if you like. 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. All right, so for those really detailed musicians out there, I didn't hold it for 4 beats, or those super detailed students, and I didn't hold it for 4 beats. I held the measure for 4 beats, excuse me, but the note, because I wanted to get that hand position correct. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's kind of like you do that in guitar playing too. You want to prepare to get the position. So you want to do that because if you're brand new, you might go 2, 3, 4, and what? You might panic and see that splatting. Extra details go a long way. You're more than happy to use the pedal and play through that, but we haven't talked about the pedal yet. So this is an example of me teaching for a long time, throwing you all these things that I'll see at once. In other words, think about the chord, think about a clean sound, prepare before you get to the next one. So you can use beat 4 as a preparation. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back. And then when you get comfortable, 3, 4, and 1, you can go ahead and hold it longer. Makes sense? If it does, thumbs up on the thumbs up button. Merry and moderately fast. We got some stuff going on here. You see it in your camera. If we go to the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th measure in, and it's sand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And I'm going to point over here too in the camera. I have to read this upside down. We get a tied note. That's not a slur, so you're going to play and you hold it. And 2 plus 4 is 6. Should have a YouTube math channel. No, no. All right, here I go. Moderately fast. I don't know. We'll see. Hand position, always check first. Notice the left hand starting on 3. All right, and then I have measure 4. I have this here. And so that hand's just going to hang out there. And make it a goal to try to get the notes in the rhythm. All right, here I go. 3 and 1, 2, 3. Kind of fast. I'll go a little slower for the learner. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 2, 4, 1, 4, and 2, 2, 4, 4, 1, 2. As I'm playing it, I'm good. I'm playing, I'm like, oh no, did I adjust the camera correctly? Because I made a video the other day and I didn't have the right camera on. But anyway, I'm gonna do it again faster just so you get an idea for it. Did you notice the pinky extension? Kind of exaggerating that. Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, 2, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 4. 4. All right, and I gotta do a shout out for all human creators on YouTube, whether it's piano or showing you how to fix a sink. I know I said that, or a car or a guitar, because what you get from us is going to be a little different. And I don't mean to sound grumpy, but when you're just looking at an app, it's just going to tell you if you're pressing the right key. And in this case, I'm talking about hand position, internalizing the beat, moving, playing with the tips of the fingers, all these little things that humanize our experience from teacher to student. So if you go and watch someone, I don't know, fixing a lawnmower, give them a thumbs up, appreciate it. Because I'm not against AI, but we need to also support us humans. And we need to support humans also that create apps and other stuff. All right, so we are gonna go to page 24, and it is 3/4 time. Basically, we count to 3 and then go back to the next measure. And I'm gonna turn the page for everyone, so you're gonna see me blocking the camera for a quick bit. If I do this correctly, it should all work out. Yes, here we go. 3/4 there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and you repeat. Now, the dotted half note, basically when you have a dot, you're adding 50% of the original value. And in this case, a half note gets 2. I'm gonna adjust my microphone, there we go. And when we put a dot, we're gonna add 50% of the original value. There's a few different ways to word it. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and a dotted half note is a great learning method to learn about dotted notes. Some will say you add half of the original value of the note. That's important too. It can get tricky fast. It's important to do some of the theory work in the dotted notes. So I'm going to go through this somewhat slow, and if you notice, it doesn't have any repeats, and we have no pitch names. So now we'll know if you've been practicing, because it's easy, but a lot of us will stare at the pitches. And if you're blanking out, don't panic. You might need to go back. I can speak, I promise. And you might need to review some notes. I'm also going to be putting together like a little PDF packet of notes for those who like to just name pitches with paper and pencil. Helps the channel out. And also, I have a little app that helps you with navigation notes. More on that later. So C position, and then C position here. But third measure in, we got that left hand. And then here. So we're just doing chords in the left hand as far as blocked goes, because we're playing them together. Here I go. Not too fast. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, softer. 2, 3, 1. That's pretty quick. Remember, if you're playing it quick but making a lot of mistakes, it doesn't work. It cancels it out. Make sure you do quality practice. What can I share? I'll make sure that you can see this one on the camera here. So in this one, I get out, my computer was in the sleep mode. It's kind of scary business that I'm doing here. So let's see. All right, are we working still? Good. So for this one, yeah, what can I share? They're basically talking about the slur. Earlier we were talking about the tied note. All right, so this is important because they look exactly the same, but they're different. All right, so I'm just gonna draw on my book. So let's say we have a dotted half note and this is a tie. It's a sloppy tie, give me a break. That means you would play 1, 2, 3, 1, and then you wouldn't press again until beat 2. You would hold that down. A slur is when it's a musical phrase where it's smoothly connected. Super important in piano. You remember when we do those 5-finger warm-ups? We're doing that staccato, now legato. Hear the difference? Very important in music. All right, moderately slow, what can I share? This is good. If you can get your notes down and the rhythm, think about your sound. This is how we make music. All right, so my hand position's good, 3 on the E. In the second measure, I got the chord there. I know all of this because I've been practicing. And here, notice the songs are short. You get it down, you just move on. All right, we're already on page 25. 1, 2, slower, Jim, easy. I know I'm hungry, but still. Ready, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Getting used to this keyboard, the action is really nice. I wish the keyboard was a little deeper, but listen, you know. But it's definitely awesome with the dynamics. In fact, I was playing so soft to see if you could hear the heater go on. So keep this in mind. Remember, when we're playing slur, legato, you want to hear your sound, left hand, Jim. In the beginning, it's da da da. I'm not. All right, that's important. And don't do okay legato and then we just put the pedal down. That's a whole other conversation. All right, piano teachers don't always like it when we just step on the pedal. All right, so we did up to 25 today. So review. And if your hands get cranky like mine, again, these are really good. Don't back off piano playing if things are getting tight. Play slower, play softer, and do these exercises. A little less is great, but you want to keep that blood going. And then at page, we'll work on next time, page 26, 27. Yeah, we get some good songs going on and some chords. All right, take care, bye-bye.